Welcome back everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Carol and I am going to be doing an energy reading for twin flames for the week of April 7th to April 13th. We just got out of the new moon energy last week on, I believe it was the 4th, and I've been hearing some terrific stories from people around me. I've been hearing stories of divine masculines coming back, reunion, divine masculines coming in and apologizing, doing their work, doing all the things that the divine feminines have always wanted them to do, and that the divine masculines are now doing because they're recognizing that the feminines have done their work and now it's time for them to do theirs. And because they are our mirrors, they're going to do what we have already done. So I'm finally seeing some manifestations from people around me of union, not just with divine masculines, but also in terms of abundance, life purpose, things like that. So this time is a really, really exciting time, I think, for the collective, because there's things that are happening now that people have been working on for years, and they're finally starting to see the fruits of it. So I'm very excited for anybody who's in that situation right now, because I want everybody to be just as happy as I am, as you know, with my union. And I am just so looking forward to seeing some of the other stories that are going to be coming out of these time periods, because I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot more, especially as we near the full moon, the end of this moon cycle, and on to the next month. So the cards that I'm going to be using today, I actually got a new deck. It's the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. So I'm going to be pulling from that deck, and then I'm going to be pulling clarifiers from the Whispers of Healing, Flower Therapy, Moonology, and True Love reading cards. Okay, so the first cards that came out, the first one is called Angel of Balance. So what this is telling me is that there are things happening, there are things that are coming about, there are things that you want to manifest that are coming into fruition, but it's important that we still maintain our sense of balance when it comes to these things. It's important that we don't lean one way or the other, or that we don't put more attention on one thing or the other. I'm also getting that we still need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves during this time. Don't give too much of yourself to any one particular thing or even your life purpose. Make sure that you're balancing that with self-care so that you can make sure that your energy is not depleted and you're keeping everything as up as you possibly can. Because while you're doing this, the other things are going to come into play that are going to get you what you want and what you desire. The second card rather, is called Fifth Chakra, Archangel Michael. And the fifth chakra, I believe, let me think here, is the sacral chakra, I believe. And if you want to correct me, please put it in the comments. Archangel Gabriel. The numbers on this card are 3 and 9. So when I'm looking at this card, I'm seeing wings. I'm seeing freedom. I'm seeing strength. So this is telling me that your strength and what you want is going to come from having this balance that we talked about before. I'm going to pull the book and actually read this card from the book. It's number 39. And by the way, the third card that came out, which is pretty self-explanatory, is number 34, which is Door to Personal Healing and Happiness. So to me, what this is showing is that staying balanced, making sure that you're staying strong will lead you where you want to go. And ultimately, your goal is to be healed and to be happy. So we need to make sure that we're doing all of these things to maintain our stability while we're going through these time periods and while we're trying to manifest on what we want for our life purpose. So card 39 says, okay, so it says, Gabriel holds his trumpet in one hand and a beautiful orb of blue light in the other. He is sending powerful energy to your throat center, acknowledging your power to communicate and your readiness to do so. And this is what I just talked about, power. But this is in regards to your throat chakra. It says, this angel opens you up to truthful expression, both with yourself and others. You may have had trouble with expressing emotions and ideas in the past, but Gabriel is here to tell you that your soul longs to take this leap now. Be aware that true communication includes how you speak to yourself, so never deny your profound integral value. Again, this is again talking about taking care of ourselves, where we're talking about balance. Speak up for yourself, write in your journal, let your words flow. Now is the time to express yourself freely and fully, and the universe always honors your choice to do so. So again, what this is telling me is that it's really important right now to make sure that you are showing your power, especially in regards to making sure that you're speaking your truth, making sure that what I'm getting is, when it comes to balance, we may have to speak our truth to people about our balance and our self-care. If people are trying to maybe take advantage of our time and what we do, we have to make sure that we are speaking up for ourselves and not allowing this, because it's very important for us to make sure that we are staying stable during this time period. And people sometimes don't realize that they're taking advantage of you, and they're not going to know unless you say something to them. So I was actually talking to a friend of mine tonight, and I was telling her that I've gotten to a point where I am willing to do something for somebody as long as I'm accomplishing ease for myself. As long as it's easy for me to do and it's not troublesome for me to do, then I'm welcome to do something. I'm welcome to help somebody out. But I've gotten past the point where I'm going to sacrifice myself and what I'm doing for myself for other people. And that's not to be selfish. It's not selfish, but what it is, it's maintaining my own balance, because if I don't do that, I won't be able to do anything for anybody else. And again, what this is showing is that if you can do that, this last card says, door to personal healing and happiness. You will be happy. You will be having fun. You will be healed. And it's all because of you doing this work that's here. So the next card I'm going to pull is going to be from the Moonology deck by Yasmin Boland. I'm going to pull one clarifier card for this reading for this. And the next deck I'm going to pull from is the Whispers of Healing, because something's telling me that there may still be some things that need to be healed during this time period in order to manifest things exactly like you want them to manifest. So that's going to be the next deck I pull from. All right, so one card, please, from the Moonology deck on this reading for the energy for twin flames from April 7th to April 13th. One card, please. Cards are flying out right now. A lot of energy. I can feel it, because I can actually feel it in myself right now, which is why I was so excited to do this reading for you tonight, because I could just tell that there were things going on that wanted to come out. That one. Okay. This card has come out before. Your commitment is being tested. Again, this all comes about with the universe testing us. I view it this way. The universe tests us to make sure that we really want what we're saying that we want. So we may have setbacks. We may feel like we've done one step forward, two steps back, two steps forward, three steps back. But what this is saying is, don't give up. Keep doing your work. Keep staying balanced. Keep making sure you're speaking your truth, because you are going to be tested to make sure that you truly want what you say that you want. But if you can make it through this time period and through this testing, you will come out on top. Okay, so along with that, like I said, I'm still getting a feeling that there's something else regarding healing involved here. So I'm going to pull this one from the Whispers of Healing deck. That one flew out. I have to laugh. Boundaries, card 50. So what this is telling me is that there are some of us that are having a problem setting boundaries. Again, this goes back to balance. This is not setting those places where you don't allow people to step over. Again, relating to maybe giving too much of yourself or doing things for people when you would really rather be doing something for yourself, or where you need to replenish yourself and your energy. This is talking about making sure those boundaries are being set. Make sure that you are making these boundaries clear to other people. And look at this card. This card is beautiful. I love the purple in it. The purple, actually it's funny because the purple is also part of the crown chakra candle over here that I'm burning. It's burning purple. So this is also about intuition. And it's funny because I did a reading for a friend of mine yesterday, and we were talking about this, and what came out in her reading was that there was a situation where there were possibilities of a situation or different things to do, but that she had to rely on her intuition to make sure that she was doing things the way she really wanted to. And I said, this is basically telling you that if it feels good, do it. If it doesn't feel good, don't. That's your intuition telling you exactly what to do. And that involved setting boundaries for herself with somebody else that had recently come into her life. So when I was asking about something that still needed to be done for the collective, this is what's coming out right now. We still need to set proper boundaries and healthy boundaries for ourselves. We need to make sure we are out of the codependent energy that so many of us are in, because we feel like we need to give, and we always will have people around us that want to take. So make sure those boundaries are set. Make sure you are not letting anybody cross those boundaries, because that's how you're going to stay mentally, spiritually, and emotionally healthy. Actually, something's telling me to read this card from the book. That card's pretty self-explanatory, but something said pull this out. Okay. Yeah. This is making sense now. Okay, it says strong boundaries are necessary for you now. Decide what you do and don't want in your life. In regards to your healing, this is more practical than you might realize. If others are interfering with your well-being or impinging on your ability to care for yourself, take notice and make the needed changes. Imagine digging a moat or creating an impermeable border around your body, your home, or your workspace to create the space you need. You have gone through a tremendous period where many aspects of your life have been altered. It is imperative to honor your limitations and acknowledge that you need to take better care of yourself. People might mean well, but miss the cues when you aren't up for long visits or extensive phone calls. You don't need to make excuses. Let others know you are making changes to better support your energy and healing. Isn't this exactly what I said at the beginning of this reading about balance? Here it is. Make sure that you're setting boundaries. Make sure you're setting healthy boundaries. Don't let people cross them, because they may be well-meaning, but they don't understand what you're trying to do. Make sure you're supporting yourself and your energy with this. And let's see, the next one I'm going to do from the Flower Therapy deck, and then the last clarifier I'm going to end with is going to be from the True Love reading cards, which I think is appropriate because this is a twin flame reading. And the True Love reading cards, I actually love that deck, because when I'm reading for people who are in relationships, it usually is spot on with whatever is going on in that situation. All right, so one card, please, from the Flower Therapy deck by Doreen Virtue. Actually, two cards came out there, so let's take them. Okay. First one says, we've seen this one before too recently, sign from heaven. Your loved ones in spirit are waving hello and giving you reassurance that you'll be all right. So to me, this means that there may be people that are not with us that we know for sure still support us, would still support us if they were here. Be reassured that whatever you're doing, they're approving of. They are happy with what you're doing. There's no need to fret. Be at peace, because they are always going to be with you. That's a beautiful message for this reading. And again, this one says, become the true you. Show the world who you really are and what you were born to do. So to me, this is also going back to what we were talking about the throat chakra. Make sure that you are being authentic. Make sure that you are speaking your truth. It's time for you to show everybody who you are and what you can do. There are going to be things coming about. Things are going to be happening. Some of things are going to be happening fast and furious. Make sure that you're staying balanced. Make sure that you're being yourself, because once the world sees what you have to offer, I'm getting that the skies are going to be the limit and maybe beyond. Okay, so one more card from the True Love reading cards. And this one I'm pulling specifically for the twin flames. Because it's funny, because my readings, even though I do them, dropped all my cards. The readings that I do as twin flame readings usually always end up talking about abundance, life purpose, things like that. And there's a reason for that. It's because whatever we're manifesting with regards to our life purpose also goes into what we're manifesting with our relationships. And I hope you can hear me while I'm saying this, because this is really important. Anybody who does not believe that they can manifest their twin is selling themselves short. Because I've told you before, I manifested my twin. I have watched a friend of mine recently possibly manifest hers. So if you're denying that that can be done and that you have to be attached to a certain person or a certain outcome, trust me, it's not true. You can have whatever you want. You can have the type of relationship you want. You can have the type of person you want. Just don't be attached to it being that particular person that you think it is. Because if you can let go of that attachment, you never know what the universe is going to bring you. And trust me, what the universe and God actually bring you is going to be so much better than you actually imagined. So I'm pulling one more card from this deck since I dropped everything and had to pick it up. But hey, this is camera. I'm going to go with it. Okay. This card is called the Silver Waterfall. Now, looking at this card, you can see there's a feminine going into the waterfall. There's a swan in the front, which sometimes people look at two swans and think of those as part of union. There's cardinals in the picture, which kind of leads me to what the card about Sign from Heaven said, because some people think that cardinals are manifestations of your loved ones. This card to me represents peace and prosperity. There's a rainbow. The woman is sitting in the waterfall, just kind of taking it in, letting herself be cleansed by this waterfall. Let me read this one from the book also, because I'm getting there's something really, really important we need to know about this. Okay, the Silver Waterfall says, stay balanced, healthy, and happy by raising your own vibration. Stay balanced, healthy, and happy by raising your own vibration. Many people feel that they are always picking up on other people's negative energy and want to know how to protect themselves from this unpleasantness. Boundaries. They perceive the negativity to be out there and believe that if they could shield themselves from it, they would feel better. The truth is that we all carry negative and positive energies. Balance. And we all have times in our lives when we feel low. To feel truly lovable and abundant, you need to be able to engage with whoever and whatever comes to you without feeling like you need some form of defense. Not only does your aura or personal energy field experience the highs and lows of everything that's going on around you, so does your nervous system and all the cells of your body. You are like a finely tuned instrument that is constantly testing the atmosphere for anything unusual, unfamiliar, or threatening. It's all out there, but barricading yourself against the world is not the solution. The best way to stay balanced and healthy in a busy world is to raise your own vibration in as many ways as possible. This means eating nutritious food, looking after your body with rest and exercise, feeding your mind with uplifting material like beautiful music, books, and movies, and regular contact with nature, and cleansing yourself at the end of the day. This is done not to protect you from anything negative, but as the angels prefer to describe it, to release anything that doesn't belong to you and anything you don't need anymore. This can also be done by following the process called the silver waterfall on the next page. It is most beneficial at the end of the day so you don't go to bed with more than you need to. Okay, so I'm actually going to read this. There's actually a way that you can release this energy that the book talks about, and that's what the silver waterfall is. It says, and listen to this, close your eyes, take it in. Sit or stand comfortably wherever you can have a private moment. Now, imagine yourself standing under a glorious waterfall of silver energy and light. Let your imagination flow too. Picture a wonderful scene in a rainforest with a silver waterfall pouring out of the sky. Feel the shimmering energy flowing through and over you, washing away energy that you don't need anymore or that doesn't belong to you. Feel it or visualize it draining away into the floor and being absorbed by Mother Earth. Let the silver waterfall flow for as long as you need it to, picturing as much or as little detail as you like of the energy flowing through your aura, your hair, and every cell in your body. Let it all drain away. Now, feel the refreshed light and energy that is all through and around you, tingling and sparkling. And I think that's a beautiful way to end this reading. That silver waterfall is talking about balance, healing, getting rid of negative energy, setting boundaries. So just to kind of recap this reading, everything you want is here. Everything you need is here. You've done the healing. You have the joy. You're bringing in the happiness. It's key, though, that you make sure that you're staying balanced by setting proper boundaries with people. Make sure that you are committed to what you are doing, so a certain amount of persistence is involved. But at the same time, make sure that you're following your intuition, which we talked about with the crown chakra, because you have to make sure that you're doing things that truly feel good to you. That's how you follow your intuition. You do things that when you think about it, you feel good. It's something you want to do. When you talk about being with your twin, is being with your twin truly something that you want to do? And this is what I'm kind of getting as I'm looking at all these cards. And let's go back to our relationship with our twin. It's important even in those relationships that we have boundaries and balance, because when you love someone, sometimes you want to give them so much that you forget to take care of yourself and give to yourself. So part of this journey is making sure that you're staying true to yourself. Make sure that you're sticking to your own ground rules and your own boundaries. And this is where I think the commitment being tested is coming in. If we've made changes in our life for the better, there may be people that are going to challenge the commitments that we've made to ourselves. And if that's the case, it's very important that we make sure we maintain those boundaries. Make sure that we're taking away negative energy, because sometimes these people are going to bring negative energy in. Make sure that you're setting up those walls or whatever you need to do to make sure that you don't take in that negative energy. Or If it is around you and it's surrounding you, do whatever you normally do to make sure that you get rid of it, to make sure that it's away from you. Make sure that you're staying positive and that you're in a high vibration. There's going to be signs around you that are going to give you indications of what you need to do. Make sure that you're being true to yourself while you're doing all of that. And what I'm getting is that while we're in this time period where people are manifesting union and manifesting things that they want, that this is truly the way. Like, I'm getting that if you can do this, even if you haven't seen any breakthroughs yet, this is going to be the key to your breakthrough, especially in the next few weeks. There's going to be things going on. There's going to be energy surrounding these situations that are going to change based on how you respond to them and not react. And again, that's making sure that you're taking care of yourself, setting those boundaries, making sure you are healed and you are happy and you are enjoying life. Because ultimately, that's how we get into union. Union is all about making sure we're in union with ourselves first, because you cannot be in union with your twin until you're okay with yourself. And I can tell you that from experience. My twin did not manifest until I was truly enjoying my life and enjoying what I was doing and enjoying being me. And I had already cultivated and changed my relationships so that I was only attracting people who built me up, didn't tear me down. Even if there were negative people around me, I made sure that I was not influenced by them. And I made sure that whatever they were doing, whatever they were saying, I did my best to make sure it didn't affect me. Because ultimately, people are a result of their environment. And if they haven't done some of the work that we've done as light workers, they still don't understand what they're doing. It's not their fault when they respond certain ways to us or when they react certain ways to us. The key is to respond and not react to what they're doing. If you react, then you have a knee-jerk thing to whatever they are bringing to you. But if you respond, you have the ability to step back, examine the situation, see it for what it is, acknowledge that they can't help what they're doing because they don't know any better. You can forgive them and walk away in peace. And when you have your own peace and you set those boundaries so that you make sure only your positive energy is there with your high vibration, magical things are going to happen for you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this reading. It probably ran a little longer than I intended, but I really felt like there were some things in here that needed to be said, and I'm glad that I pulled the cards that I did, because I think some of you probably have a little bit more clarification as to some of the things that are going on around you right now. So again, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Again, my name is Carol. If you need anything, you can please comment below. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you liked what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next reading. Everybody take care and be blessed.